Tonight I came to a realization, and it requires a bit of an explanation of who I am as a person first. So, I suppose I'll go through that first. There's a lot more to me, as there is to most people, but I put a lot of priority into self-care and self-improvement. A lot of the time I saw people around me who did things that hurt me, or that I didn't like, and I suppose I took a personal oath of sorts to never be like them. Eventually that degraded. Well, I don't know if you can call it degraded, but it turned into something like I am now. I'm scared because I have a hard time finding my emotions. I know what I want to feel, but it never seems to show in any sort of outward expression. But that's not my realization. My realization is that ever since a young age, I have tried to figure out everything about myself. I've made decisions that I can't say I'm dissatisfied with them, but I think my fear of becoming something worse has made my freedom harder. Freedom as myself, and expressing myself. And this has turned into a strange ramble, but I can't say I hate that because that's kind of the point. Let's see. The other day, I took a walk down a street I haven't passed before. It was to get together with some friends to play a card game that I quite like. It was a great time, and it was wonderful to realize I could bring myself to that activity with a simple 1 hour walking distance. But while the card game was the main event, it made me really happy. So just see the sights down on May Street. I passed by a church, and next to it was a religious housing for young children. There were multiple stores, there was a few buffets, and a few restaurants. I guess a buffet and a restaurant is kind of similar, the same thing? I don't really know. Other miscellaneous buildings I didn't really look at for too long, or I don't really care to mention. Before I went home, I decided to buy myself ice cream. There was a nice ice cream store right next to the cafe that me and my friends played at, and I thought, why not? I had a few the cash in my wallet that I didn't know what to do with for the longest time, and it was only around $8. I think the idea is that it would make my walk more fun. It was like an ice cream cone while walking down the streets, kind of like cartoonish in a way at that point. But overall, it just kind of brought me a lot of joy to do something on a whim. I did walk down the ice cream shop, took out my wallet, and paid and received a nice treat. It was wonderful, and it may sound mundane to most people, but that time was a few days ago, and it may have been one of the best of my life. That's an exaggeration, but it was pretty nice. The fact that it was late made it kind of more fun, because I just had an hour to be by myself on the walk, and taking walks out at night isn't usually the normal. It's the fact that I had chosen to do these things without any demand or suggestion from anybody else. It was just me and only me. On my walk home, I passed by the church again on the way home, and I considered going inside because, hey, maybe there was a sermon going on, and the atmosphere, or, yeah, I guess the general atmosphere of a church just is calming in a way. But from the lack of cars in the driveway and the lack of lights on the windows, I kind of guessed it was closed and kept walking. I'm not really religious, but something about just the general vibe, I guess it makes you feel safe. Tonight I feel kind of the same as that night, which is why I brought it up. I sat down and wrote this script that I'm not really even following that hard. On a whim, I sat down, or I laid down, I suppose, at night, and I thought, well, I guess this requires a little bit more explanation. I journal a lot, and I haven't in a while, so I was having a lot of thoughts, and I decided to sit down and write them. And this time, I thought, why not just record it? and post it for fun. Nobody has to care, and if anybody does care, sure. It's unlike my usual self, but I don't really care if I receive any judgment, quiet or verbal judgment. I don't care. This is something I want to do, and I'm doing it. Writing is a passion of mine, so writing this script is just a lot of fun and brings me a lot of happiness to say I did this myself. Just, it's not anything impressive or important or special, but as long as it's not some draft of a story I have yet to tell anybody in particular about, or hell, it's way better than not writing it at all. I worry and worry and worry all the time, and I need to stop. My passions are always constrained by the idea that there are standards and policies I need to follow, the idea of practicing. I draw often too, and it's always practice and practice and practice, but I never feel like I'm quite at that moment that I can just draw what I would like. I don't think that's true. Let's see. It's just, I practice often, but it's not often I pick up the pen and feel super excited to make something that I want to make. And that's not due to a lack of love or passion for my passions. I'm saying passion a lot here. It's kind of silly, but it's whatever. Because I think I'm just scared, kind of. It's the fear of whatever, the fear of, I guess, expectation, in a way. Expectation of myself, and then, I suppose, in the future, expectations of other people who expect me to be good, improve, and keep improving. But this video and the script I wrote was made as a love letter to my passions and a way to get my mind off the anxieties that just fail to see me as a whole. I fail to see myself as a whole during these anxieties. And while this whole thing, I can't say that it succeeds in seeing me as a whole, because nobody can be seen as a whole by something like this. But in the end, all I really want is to love what I work on and love other people and help other people love like that. Because that's a good way to live. In my opinion, at least. Honestly. Whenever I'm not thinking about drawing or writing, I think about board games, whatever video game I'm playing at the moment, talking to friends, maybe watching something. I don't actually watch a lot of TV. It's simple things, and it makes life fun, very fun. But it all adds together and makes life a very interesting place. I don't know myself as much as I would like to, and I want to stop pretending that I know every aspect about myself, and it's my responsibility to work around in this personal confusion so that I can know things about myself and learn and improve without setting a standard. Like, I follow my moral compass like a religious principle, but it doesn't work that way, I suppose. You ever read Damien by Herman Hesse? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. This is not on the script at all. I wrote a script for this, by the way. I think I mentioned it a few times, but it's not really a script as much as it is an excerpt of my journal that I wrote down on a whim, and then I wanted to record it. Anyway, it's making me think of that. That book has been really good. In general, I want to work on myself, but I want to do it not because of some weird principle that tells me I need to work on myself, and more of because there are things that would improve if I did. There are aspects of my life that would improve if I worked on myself and improved and became smarter and more tolerant and more, not tolerant, I think competent would be a better word. And there are other people that would benefit from that too. I think that's all. Good night. Thank you for listening. Maybe I'll see you again.